has even a special entry for their own AdSense. But unfortunately, ads are not available everywhere. And also, ads create a really, really bad experience for the web. I think if you are in tech for a while, you already know the joke running with all the pop-ups that we have to close when we open the new page, and you're like, oh, let's accept these cookies. Oh, that close. Oh, and after this. And if you try to even close the ad, they will say like, why are you closing an ad? And you have to choose. It's not relevant. And it's so much work. But web should not be like that. Literally, this is from Germany's website. I didn't have yet time to search for one that has ads in India to be sure that you will recognize it. But this is when you start entering a web, half of the page it's an ad. Like, I'm there to read the news. This is why I'm getting there. And I would like to get this displayed, not a green big square with ads there. And I also want to support this newspaper. I also want to support the people that do create good stuff online, and I understand that they will need a revenue. But what if we could support them with an extension and we don't have to pay ads, which we cannot control? I did not choose what ads are given to me, and maybe I really don't want some of the categories that do there. What if we could do all this like in a regular? But till we get to the solution, because we are a very diverse group, and I mentioned before, I think Santosh last year presented his own experience being in India, trying to get paid to different platforms. We encounter really such situations that not all web stars are considered towards ads. For example, I think in AdSense, if you're not having a big chunk of followers, readers every day, your page, they will not even consider you for supporting your page with an ad. So even if you are in a country that supports this, this is not going to happen. Other countries, oh, we're going back. Other countries have more money for ads versus others get a little bit less. Is that fair? It's like, who decides this kind of money? I do spend maybe the same amount of time as other creator in other country to create the page that people see, but just because they live somewhere else, they will get a different experience. And another third reason, yeah, we don't really have money already to, be able to send large amount of money to those that we support. So maybe we would like to try some smaller amounts like micropayments. Yeah, micropayment is the thing that we're gonna talk today, and one way that we web monetization. And web monetization is the API that allows websites to automatically and passively receive payments from web monetized visitors. What does this even mean? What is automatically? It means that you will not have to do it manually all the time. You set it once and it goes. Passively is the same. You can go move around, do your own stuff. You will not have to do anything specific for that. And web monetized means that both those that create content, any type of content, could be code, could be games, could be videos, could be music, enabling web monetization. And this goes as simple as adding a tag and in your original blog or page or projects that you have to address Open Payments wallet address. And Open Payments, you went, what's that? Let's see. Open Payments is the API standard for account servicing entities that allows third parties to securely access digital wallets for viewing account information and initiating payments. This means that through Open Payments standard, we are able to connect two digital wallets from two different platforms, two different countries, two different currencies, two different whatever you can change, and they should work together. They should speak together. They should exchange money. This is how, in a few diagrams, web monetization works through Open Payment. We will have two users, Sabine and Brooke, that are online. Brooke created the page, Sabine enjoys the page, and you will see both of them have a wallet that through web monetization agent, both of these wallets will talk, will be connected. Oh. At this point in time, just want to make sure, at this point in time, our work splits in two, because while we are working towards web monetization as a web standards with W3C, that takes a lot of time. As some of you may know, working in web standard world takes a few years at least, and I think we are away somewhere midway with it. We invested around 2 years now, and I think that they will have 2 more years to work there to make it happen as a full web standard. Till then, we have two other ways of implementing this, either through a browser extension, which is the shortcut that we are going to talk today, and it is the shortcut where we stand right now, or native browser support. And by native browser support, I mean being integrated as any other feature in your browser of choice. At this moment in time, we are very close with the team behind Chromium to have this ready. And if you follow the open list, you will see the discussion there. Okay, so I did mention that till now we have an extension. This screenshot on the right side is the current beta. I think the screenshot is behind a few builds from there. So if you go to monetization on GitHub, you should be able to see the latest UX, which is a bit different. But nevertheless, follow structure. You will need your wallet of choice. At this point in time, we support 3 wallets there, GitHub, Finboast, and Chimani. They cover different currencies and different regions. And this is not a finite domain and not a final limit, that one. We might be adding tomorrow another wallet in a few days. It's just discussions with them or they knowing about our work. So after you have your wallet linked, you will get there the paying pointer that you're going to use for web monetization. You will be asked to decide how much you want to spend on the web, which means that every time you enter a page, you would donate money to them, you will pay money to them to support their work. But in order to do that, you will set a rate per month, a rate per day of your choice, that it will go automatically for that. Of course, you do set a budget, a limit for the money, so you don't overrun it and do more than you could afford or more that you want at the end of the day. And of course, you can add a low list or block list. Maybe you don't want to support some of the pages that randomly gets open, or maybe it's not under your control sometimes. So in short work, this is how web monetization extension works at this point, and this will trigger a notification for the website that, hey, this page is web monetized. At the same time, you might thinking, okay, so as a user, how do the page knows that I'm there? Or as the owner of the page, what do I do with this information that a user that comes to my page is with web monetization enabled, can support me? This is up to you as a developer to decide what to implement. You can do nothing. At this point, it's up to you. You can just leave it there. You get the money income, and that's it. But at the same point, maybe you want to give a shout out to them, like, hey, like a pop-up or a notification like, hey, thanks so much for your support, this helps me a lot. Or implement something like, hey, for you, because you're one message, I give you this free other article, or you have a one-on-one with me, or you can think about this like the opposite of a paywall. Like, while you have to pay to see content, because you pay, you see more content in this. So for those that will not be using monetization, or for those that cannot afford or decide not to, the page should still display stuff. So we are not promoting paywall. We are not even against that. At the end of the day, each page can decide what to do, but we are trying to be on the opposite of more positive or optimistic. If someone supports your work, maybe you want to do some more for that. It could also be direct contact with them, sending them a note, a thankful note, or an email, or other sort of promotions, or a little gesture. And also giving them more access online to bypass different blockers. But again, this is all up to you if you, as a developer, want to implement anything. And going back to our two examples, you will see that one will request the grant and create the income payments towards the web monetization agent. The agent will communicate to the other wallet to request a quote and ongoing payment. And after that, the transfer is done. Be careful here, as I mentioned, I did not say that, oh, they have to be on the same country. I didn't say they have to be on the same wallet. I did not say that they have to use the same currency. So the payment is validated and Brooke gets the money for the content that he created. So how we are able to do this? Here's where Interledger Protocol comes in place. The Interledger Protocol is a protocol, of course, as the name stands, for sending packages of money across different payment network of ledgers. And I know, Interledger sounds like, oh, these are Bitcoins or ledgers. The name is not something that we are very proud at this moment when we chose it, because unfortunately ledgers are more used on that side of the world with all the blockchain and Bitcoins and everything. While we are supporting that, you can use a currency of a Bitcoin or any other, a virtual currency. This is not only that. So it's not reduced to the whole blockchain Bitcoin stuff. We are using real currencies, and a ledger in this code is just a node in the finance network all around. A ledger could be a bank, a ledger could be a wallet, it could be a Bitcoin wallet if you want. So anything connecting entities in this node. So Interledger, it is exactly there. The name comes exactly connecting all the ledgers, no matter of their type. The protocol was invented or started around more than 5-6 years ago. Oh, probably even more. I'm probably missing some years from the beginning by Stefan and Ivan. And if you want to read more about the history, do try to search for COIL. The work was initially made as a private company. They were creating kind of a membership club. Sounds a bit awkward, but this membership that you would have paid like €5 or $5 or any other currency per month, and you will get part of this money whenever you create something or someone will go and go on your page. And it was this supporting each other kind of way. At some point, they decided that would be better for this to become a web standard, and they closed COIL as a company for profit. I think they still continue some of their work, but in different way, and they created Interledger Foundation as a non-for-profit organization to be sure that the web standard is created, and this will become accessible and fair to everyone using it. So back then, the protocol was literally referring to the transfer between the two wallets, and in this case, two different ledgers. One is a wallet, and Brooks' wallet is differently a bank, is not only a wallet. They should be able to connect. Our motto, let's call it, or our mission in a very short way is to be able to send payments as simple, as easy, and as fast as you're sending an email. There comes Ernie, our little bird, sending a letter. And one of the examples that I use at conferences is that a payment through web monetization should be exactly like you send an email. I don't know what client you're using. It can be Gmail, it can be Proton, it can be Outlook. I don't know what you're using. You can speak a different product language. You can use a different font. You can choose to write in italics. You can choose to be in bold. It doesn't matter. My choice of webmail or mail in general, could not be through mail, should understand the same letters, should understand the same font, and should be able to receive an email from you even if we are not using the same one. You're in a different country, send me an email from India through Gmail. I should be able to use it on my phone in Germany in instant. So we want payments to be made as simple as this. As architecture, the Interledger looks really, really similar to the internet. That's why I think both the idea with an email came for, and also even as Stefan realized like, hey, we already have in place a structure that we can use to connect the different points, different nodes, and why not use it? So if you're familiar with the internet structure, think about everything in your network like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Ethernet, all the services that you want to use. The same is in our network. Anything related to money, every form of money. The fiat stands by the regular, useful transferring money without physical banknotes or coins. So any form of currency, this is the base of the Interledger. After that, on the internet, you have the IP, the Internet Protocol. In our case, will be Interledger Protocol that will translate the money into the stream. The TCP IP protocol, this is how the internet one, in our case, is used by the stream, the transport mean, and going forward, we have the address, the HTTP in case of the internet. For us, will be the open payments working. On top of this comes web monetization, the last layer of user interaction, let's call it, or what a user can see and decide upon. These are pages, of course, in the internet example. So you, as both a developer and also as a user, you should not care. Like when you open a page, you don't care through which IP necessarily your website connects, or through anything that is behind the internet. It just works for you. In the same way, we want web monetization to be your portal towards sending money without you being afraid or caring of all the details that banks connect, currencies mean, geography, regions, and any other little thing that can differ in it. So just works. And as I mentioned, we are working with this as a standard with the W3C committee. We literally went in September at TPEC, which is the annual meeting for all community members and experts. We have on GitHub the work done there, should be in like a few weeks probably updated for this year. But if you want to follow up all the updates, go there and give it a star. I think the number of stars improve because we want to reach around 500 till the end of the year. So help us out with a star on the GitHub WICG web monetization. If you don't find the link, ping me, Ioana at interledger.org, and I should be able to send you all the links. If you want to get involved with the work we do at Interledger Foundation, we have Slack going on, and want to read more about both our advocacy work and our technical work, you can find on interledger.org both our news on the work, our partners, our podcasts, and also interledger.org/develop building with the protocol. And as I mentioned, we also have a page for community work, which is community.interledger.org. It's a forum-based based on technology behind dev.to. So it's easy to contribute there, go comment, ask for questions, ask me. That was all for my, I do have questions. I'm not sure if I am yet Ioana_CIS on Twitter. CIS my initials. and Ioana at interledger.org. And see you in a bit.